We go. Awesome. And let's see if we can get this screen share to work. What do you guys think about Danielle Pelucio? She's pretty amazing. She has got it going on for sure. So hang on one second. I'm just going to get this little presentation up. There we go. And share screen. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Perfect. All right. Well, guys, my name is Tony Hughes. I've been with eXp for, it'll be 4 years, and I guess my anniversary is July 1st, but I really started on the 7th or 8th of June, right after my birthday, 3.5, almost 4 years ago now. And I love eXp. For those of you that may be a guest on tonight, I'm not watching people. I'm just going to stay focused on the screen here, but hopefully you guys can hear me all right. For those of you that are guests on here tonight, there's lots and lots of brokerages out there to choose from. Most of them will simply tolerate you. There's only one that really will celebrate you, and that's eXp Realty. And that's why I left Keller Williams and came to eXp, because of the celebration of compensation, the celebration of training, the celebration of broker access, the celebration of exclusive technology that only this brokerage has. And the fact that we've gone from this no-name brokerage, 13, 14 years ago, no one even knew who we were. Today, if you go research, we were number one last year in transactions. We went from number 3 to number 1. We're the largest independent brokerage on the planet. And within the next year to 2 years, we will pass up Keller Williams and will be the largest brokerage, period, whether it's franchise or independent. So really excited to be with a winner. Everybody else seems to be going downhill and losing all their agents. Well, I was the person that recruited agents for Keller Williams, and half the time when my staff would tell me that someone was leaving, I would say, where are they going? They would say eXp Realty, and I'd be like, who is eXp Realty? So I really didn't know who eXp was until I found out they were taking all of my best talent, and I couldn't blame them for leaving now that I've been here for almost 4 years, because why would you go somewhere else when you're going to make less income, or you're going to have less net worth created? You're just slinging houses. You're not really building a business. You're not really, understanding, an exit strategy or that sort of thing. So I'm going to start off with the compensation tonight versus the history of our company, and then I'll circle back. But to me, when you get into real estate, it's about working with your clients. It's about going out there every day and grinding it out and making that money. And one of my former Keller Williams franchise owners made a comment one time, and I thought it was a little harsh, but he said, I have no compassion for realtors who have financial problems. And his point was, we make so much money when we get out there and sell houses, but too many agents make excuses or sitting around dilly-dallying, treating their real estate business like a hobby, and they're not really professional. And of course, they're not going to, have success in the business. So this is one of the things that our founder, Mr. Glenn Sanford, the CEO of eXp Realty, created that changed this industry forever. No one had ever done this before, and there's only now there's a couple copycats that are trying to copy. It's almost like the Uber Lyft thing. Uber does about 20 times more, 10 times more volume than Lyft. And we will continue to be the leader in this industry. There's no way you could stop us from this growth, because we're a growth company. That's what we focus on, is growing. We don't focus on just keeping the status quo and keeping, the same agents that we've always had. New blood is the lifeblood of every organization. So you've got to be constantly, attracting agents to your company if you want to be sustainable. So one of the great things about eXp and why everybody's coming here is you don't get stock in any other companies. You get your little 2.5% or 3% commission. Might be a nice big chunk of change, but you don't get any equity in the brokerage. So our founder made eXp so that we, the agents, own the company. We're the second largest shareholders in the company. Every year when you close your first transaction, you're going to get $200 in free shares of stock. But those of you that are looking at our stock price today, when I started 3.5, 4 years ago, it was just over $5 a share. It's been as high as $180 a share. We're down around $11 a share right now, 11, 12, somewhere in there. But don't look at that number, because I'm not a prophet. I'm not clairvoyant. but I am a business person. I do have a business degree from a fairly, big, huge private university out here in the West called Brigham Young University. And I studied at the Marriott School of Management, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist or, someone with a degree to understand that eXp is going to take over the world because of how fast we're growing and how many agents are joining. And it's because they get celebrated here with more income. We just had Danielle Pelucio on here, who is a 3 years in a row, she's been an Icon agent. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But she also caps in like 1 month. She'll sell 7 or 8 houses in a month, and she's capped. She gets to go to 100% commission for 11 months, right? And she gets another $400 in stock. So you get another $400 in stock once you cap every year. And again, it only takes about 2.7 million in closed sales volume. In most markets, that's about 6 to 8 houses. In LA or San Diego, it might be 2 houses or 3 houses, maybe even 1 house. But also, if you invite people over to eXp and they name you as what we call the sponsor, which is the person that had the biggest impact on their decision to come to eXp, and that agent sells their first house, you get a little thank you gift called $400 and more stock from Glenn Sanford, our founder and CEO. And that's his way of saying, hey, thanks so much for bringing your friend over here to eXp. They just closed their first deal. Here's another $400 in stock. And you'll notice that doesn't have the word annually written next to it, because you only get that one time. Your agent will get their $200 of stock every year when they close their first transaction. They'll get their $400 in stock once they cap, so that's $600 total. But you get $400 when your new agents that you brought over close their first deal. And again, it's just something you wouldn't have gotten. I mean, when I was at KW, I told people all the time, right? You could tell people at Coldwell Banker, Remax, Century 21 about your brokerage, and you're not going to get anything but maybe a $5, Starbucks gift card or something like that from the broker. This is big money, because when you look at that stock at not $11 a share, but $70 or $80 or $90 a share, it does not take long to create a massive amount of net worth at eXp. As a matter of fact, when our stock hit $180 a share, because we announced a 2-for-1 stock split, it dropped down to 90. And that same month, we made over 700 people millionaires from the sale of their stock. And unfortunately, that pushed our stock price down, but it will continue to grow because we've added 22 new countries. You can't not have massive revenue. We did $4.6 billion last year in revenue. We're going to do 5.6 or 6.6 billion this year and 9.6 billion the year after, whatever, and we're going to grow. And investors are going to continue to look at EXPI, which is our ticker symbol. They're going to continue to invest in this brokerage because we are the Amazon of real estate. We're the 800-pound gorilla in the room. We're the one that's turning all the heads. Everybody's talking about EXP, and we're barely 14, like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old company. So it's really extraordinary what we've done compared to some of these 100-plus-year-old brands like Coldwell Banker, to name one brokerage. Now, the Icon Agent Award is a really big game changer. This allows you to get $16,000 in company stock. There are a couple of rules that apply to that in order to get the full amount of $16,000, but essentially you're getting your full cap back when you hit Icon. And in most markets, you can achieve Icon with 30 closings. So about 30 transactions. You've got a cap, whatever it takes you to cap, 7 or 8 houses. And then once you do 20 more individual closings, if you're with a team, it's a different story. But if you're an individual agent and you're not sharing your commission with anybody else, then you get the full amount. Then, once you do 20 additional sales after you cap, you become an Icon and you're getting $16,000 in stock. Now imagine if let's just divide divide 16,000 by $11 and figure out how many shares of stock that is, and then multiply that number times $75 a share, which is kind of where I think we're heading in the next year or two. I'm not here to sell stock, but I am here to tell you that's my personal opinion, that I think once all these countries get up on plane that we've brought on in the last couple of years, eXp is just going to go ballistic. We're going to go nuts. Maybe somebody can let Zach Martin into the meeting. That'd be great. Then we've got our agent equity program. I just want to talk about this for just a moment because a lot of agents at eXp, not a lot, a very small percentage of agents at eXp don't participate in this, and it's just because they don't know what they don't know. But here's one thing I know about salespeople in general, because I have been one my entire life. We don't save our money very well. We typically spend more than we make. We go out there and we work hard. We make a lot of money. We spend more than we make. That's just typically the way it is. And when I ran Keller Williams franchises for 4 years of my life, I couldn't believe how many agents we had that were getting in trouble with the Department of Economic Security, which is the department that oversees child support payments. I couldn't believe all the agents that were getting letters at our office from the IRS wanting to garnish their commissions because they hadn't paid their taxes. So to me, the agent equity program is genius. It's like a built-in savings plan for all real estate agents, and you can opt in and opt out as many times you want. You opt in once and stay there. That's my suggestion. You just get 5% of your commission. You know, if you make 10 grand, eXp takes 500 of it. They go buy the eXp stock for you at a 10% discount. That's called a no-brainer. You're getting the stock already at a discount, 10% off. So if you were to go to Robinhood or Charles Schwab or Ameritrade and buy eXp stock, you pay the full market price. But if you just go out and do what you're going to do at Century 21 or Coldwell Banker, HomeSmart, and sell houses, 5% of your commission goes to buy that stock at a 10% discount. And that stock is literally, you can sell it anytime you want. It's vested immediately. So if you need to pay taxes and you don't have enough money, or if you have some sort of medical issue and you've got 12 grand sitting in your agent equity program, you can cash out if you want to. I wouldn't suggest it, but you certainly can. The numbers in yellow, those are restricted stocks because the company is giving us those stocks. Therefore, there's a 3-year vesting period. When I was in corporate America and got stock or 401k, there was always a 7 to 10 year vesting period. So it's kind of nice at eXp. It's only 3 years. At Keller Williams, they have a 7-year vesting period. We have a 3-year vesting period. So once you've been here 3 years, those numbers in yellow, all that stock that you've acquired, you could sell it if you wanted to. And it literally takes like 2 to 3 days from the time you hit sell to it hits your bank account. You don't get this at any other brokerage, guys. This is really the reason why there's such a huge migration from whatever brokerage they were at to eXp. And all you have to do is go do a little bit of research, and you'll see we are the fastest growing real estate company in the history of our industry, the largest independent brokerage. We've got 87,000 agents. When I started, we had 70,000 agents less. We had 17,000 agents when I started in June of 2019, and now we have almost 88,000 and growing. And our goal is to have 150,000 agents, 200,000 agents, here in the next year or so. So it's going to be an amazing run. All right, so that's our equity opportunity. Revenue share. This is another income stream. Most, if not all, of our competition really only has one revenue stream, and that's you go sell a house and you make a commission. At eXp, there's about 6 or 8 different ways that we get paid. We even get a quarterly dividend on all the stock that we own because the company pays a quarterly dividend on the stocks. You get this random deposit in your bank account from your dividend share. So revenue share, we share 50% of our revenue that we collect every month, and we have since the day we started. And this was modeled after the program that started in 1987 in Austin, Texas by Gary Keller, the co-founder of Keller Williams, when he started the program called profit sharing. As someone who still gets a check every single month from Keller Williams, because I am vested, I was vested on the 3-year plan before they changed it to 7. So I'll get a check for the rest of my life every month on the 21st because of all the people that I recruited at Keller Williams. But my revenue share check at eXp is about, 150 times bigger now. It's like makes my little profit share check, I want to pet it on its head and say, "You're so cute." There's just no profit at KW these days. You know why? Because all the big profit producers, all the big producers are leaving and going to eXp, and KW is really struggling. So is Coldwell Banker. So is Remax. I mean, some of these companies are public. Don't take my word for it. Go look at their financial statements. It's ugly what's happening with some of these big names that have been around for 80 to 120 years. Revenue share is just simply a referral sharing program. That's all it is, referring other agents to eXp. And when you do that, let's say you refer an agent to eXp, you can literally earn up to $2,800 in free, let me spell that for you, FREE, free money. that you wouldn't get anywhere else. And that's just Glenn Sanford's way of saying, hey, John, thanks for bringing that agent over. We're going to give you 3.5% every time they close the deal until they cap. So the most you can make, because they, when they cap, the most we can take out of their commission is $16,000. So obviously, if you took 3% of 20% of 80,000 is 16,000, and 3.5% of 80,000, which is the amount of money you would have to earn in order to cap at eXp. 3.5% times 80,000 equals $2,800. That's the reason why we can't pay more than that per year. But let's just say over the next 2 or 3 years, 10 of your friends came to eXp and named you as their sponsor, and every one of them were cappers, meaning they're closing 7 or more deals a year. That's $28,000 in free money. That pays for everything. That pays for your cap, that pays for your signs, that pays for your board fees, your MLS, your super key, your brokerage fees. It's all covered, right? So this is just another way to add more income right now, guys. And I'm telling you, people are coming to eXp like crazy right now because they're scared spitless where they are right now. They're not getting the support from their brokers. They're not getting the training. They don't have any equity. They have nothing to show for their, all their effort after all these years at eXp. We've got people that have become multimillionaires because of our equity program, because of our revenue share program. Certainly you can go to exprealty.com/income and look up our income statement to verify all of this, but it truly is extraordinary. And it doesn't just pay you on the agents that you bring to the company. When your agents start sponsoring agents to the company, you're going to start getting paid on them, on their production as well. And we don't take it out of their commission. It comes out of the 20% split that we all pay to the company until we cap at $16,000. So none of this comes out of the agent's back pocket. It all comes out of the 20% split that we're all paying in to the company. You can actually earn up to $3,200 per year on agents on your second level. Now you have to build it right. Build it right means you got to bring in at least 5 producing agents in order to unlock the key or unlock the lock, have the key to unlock the lock, I should say, for tier 2, which pays you 4% of their total gross commission when they close the deal. So if they made $10,000, you would make $400, right? They do it next month, they make another $10,000, you make another $400. They close 3 deals in 1 month, they made 30 grand, you just made $1,200 that month, right? Up to 3,200 on your second tier. If you don't have at least 5 producing, by the way, a producing agent, our definition of a producing agent is any agent that does 2 deals per year, 1 every 6 months, where there's at least $5,000 or more generated in gross commission income per deal. So 2 deals per year, $10,000 in total gross commission income. That's what it means to be a producing agent. That's not someone setting the world on fire, but that's all it takes is 5 of those agents to be able to open up that second tier. And think about it. Let's say you brought in 5 agents and your 5 agents brought in 5 agents. That would be 25 agents on your second level, on your second tier. And again, by the way, guys, this is, I love revenue share. I have all my bills paid for now. Thank God for Scott Lewis and Rob Flick for pinning me down and getting me started here, because I'm so grateful to have all my bills paid for every month, whether I sell a house or not, thanks to this amazing program. But it's fully optional. You do not have to participate. You don't have to recruit anybody. You don't have to talk to anybody. It's just another massive income source that you can build here at eXp. And it's another huge reason why so many agents are saying, bye-bye, RE/MAX, bye-bye, Century 21. I'm going to eXp where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. And that's the reason for our massive growth. So that's just a little bit of our compensation plan. Now I want to get into the history of the company. Glenn Sanford, as I mentioned, he's our founder and CEO. He was a former Keller Williams agent. He was the #1 producing agent in his franchise with Keller Williams in Bellingham, Washington. And he went and talked to his owner and said, I think I should get some ownership in the franchise. I'm the largest producing agent. And the owner didn't argue with him. He came back and said, I'll give you 1%. And that made Glenn so infuriated. He said, I'm going to start my own brokerage and I'm going to make all my agents owners in the company. We're going to take it public. And so when we started, we were on the penny stock exchange, but that's exactly what's happening. Now we're with the big boys, with all the big tech companies on the NASDAQ. Matter of fact, we rang the closing bell just a couple of weeks ago back in New York. So Glenn is the founder. A little interesting trivia. I'm not even sure this is really true because I've never seen it in print, but I've heard it 100, 150 times. He's got a super high IQ of about 171. I think Einstein had 160 or 161 IQ. So this gentleman is literally a genius and has created something that is just unstoppable. I guess I got to change my slide here now. But when I started, there were 17,000 agents, just under 17,000 in June of 19, and now we have about 88,000 agents, and we're growing like crazy. It's just incredible to see what's happening to our company. I haven't published the numbers, or I haven't put the numbers, unfortunately, on here, but I know we did 3.8 billion in revenue in 2021, and last year we did 4.6 billion in revenue, and so our numbers are just up and to the right. We're a publicly traded company, so you can go on Yahoo Finance and type in eXp as our moniker, ticker symbol, whatever you want to call it, and you can do all of your own homework, and you can see the numbers yourself. No other brokerage is having the kind of success that eXp is having, especially in this challenging market, and it's because of our new technology, our virtual technology. When I started, we were in the U.S. and Canada. I think there's 10 provinces in Canada. Correct me if I'm wrong, Canadians, but I think there's 10. We were only in 3 when I started. Now we're in 9, I think, 9 of the 10 provinces in Canada, and we're in 22, 23 other countries. This is actually an older slide. I know we've added Dubai, we've added Poland. I might be missing one other, but we're just growing all over the world. And so when these countries all mature, our revenues are going to go through the roof. And we share revenues from all over the world, not just the United States. It doesn't matter where the money comes from. We own a bunch of companies at eXp, and we're going to own a lot more. Wherever the revenue comes from, the company shares 50% of that with agents that are out there producing. You certainly don't get any revenue share if you're not sponsoring agents, because that's what the program was built for, was to help incentivize agents to go out there and recruit agents to eXp so we can be the largest brokerage on the planet, which we already are, but that's independent. We're shooting for the largest brokerage, period. So when I was a kid, we used to go to Kmart and Sears, Roebuck. I lived in Fort Worth, Texas. There was a huge chain of stores called Montgomery Ward's, for those of you that are older like me, and now they're just the headquarters in downtown Fort Worth is just a bunch of condos and retail stores. Why? Because Amazon just completely annihilated the retail space, and they continue to do so. Right? Netflix completely upended Blockbuster. They were the big boys on the block, and they got annihilated by streaming, and they had the opportunity to buy Netflix, and they turned it down. Uber and Lyft has changed the way we do ride sharing. Airbnb, we just stayed in an Airbnb a week ago, and it was incredible. Had everything that you could possibly imagine, way more than a hotel. It was in a brand new home, and in the basement, I paid like $80 a night, and I would have paid $175 at a very sterile Marriott or Hilton or something like that. So we know these cloud-based companies are changing the way the world works, the way we live in this world. And eXp Realty really is doing the exact same thing to all these brokerages out there that are brick and mortar. We've proven through COVID that you do not need to have buildings to sell. I mean, we were the #1 producing brokerage last year, the #1 producing brokerage, and we don't have buildings. And so these agents that tell me, I think I need to go to a brokerage where there's an office. No, that's a bunch of crap. That's an excuse. That's all it is an excuse. I ran 3 offices in Phoenix. I know who comes in to those offices, and it ain't the good agents. They're out doing what good agents are supposed to be doing, not gossiping and talking about their fishing trip, around the bullpen, which is usually what you see in a traditional brick and mortar real estate business. We can do everything that we need to do in real estate from the comfort of our home through this exclusive technology that we have called Virbela, which allows us to have an online campus of sorts where we can log in to our laptop or phone. We can go talk to our broker. So we're cloud-based. You can work your business anywhere in the world. We've got over 80 hours a week of live training. I don't know if you'd ever sell a house if you went to all the trainings that we provide, but they're there for you, and they're live. And if you want to attend them, you can. They're free. There's no charge. It's no monetization like all these real estate agents when they hit 15, 20 years in the business. Yeah, if you want to come to my seminar, you can pay $100 or $50 or $200 or whatever, all of our training is free here at eXp, the 80 hours a week. So it's no one has that in the industry. No one can even come close. We even have 14 classes for brand new agents called Fast Start Training that really get new agents off to a rockin' start in their new career. So our metaverse, we have this exclusive technology, and I'm just going to play a quick little video. That's me. First thing you do when you download our software, and again, no one in the industry has this but us. We're the only ones in real estate that have this technology. I'm going to be honest, when I first saw it, I thought, this is so hokey pokey. I've never played computer games. I don't know anything about this stuff. I'm 61, so I did not grow up gaming. But I made my little avatar by myself in about 3 minutes. It was so easy, and now I love this. I get around. It took me like a day or so to figure it out, but once I figured it out, it's like, man, I got this. So you can just kind of go up there to that go-to link. If you need to go to a training that's in the main auditorium, you just click on it. Just like Star Trek, your little avatar will teleport to the main auditorium. You can literally raise your hand. You can blow up the screen. So if you're sitting way up in the nosebleed section, it really doesn't matter. It's virtual. You can be standing the whole time because you're an avatar, right? But we do have these little plus signs at the top of the screen on our technology that allow you to, blow up the different screens or the podium or the stage or what have you. So there's never a bad seat. I've literally been in this auditorium with over 1,500 other agents during the height of COVID, and didn't have to worry about catching a communicable disease because I was in my pajamas, at my house attending this training. There's no other brokerage that makes it better, easier to access their brokers than eXp. We have these little machines that you click on, little virtual machines you click on with your cursor, puts you in the queue, and within a few seconds, your broker teleports you back to a table so you can have a private conversation. There's a little mute button down there. You can unmute yourself. So when you need to talk, there's also a chat button down there in the bottom left-hand corner. Got problems with your computer? Don't worry about it. We've got amazing Geek Squad, crew that can literally go into your computer and fix settings. And so anything you can do in brick and mortar. The nice thing about it is you don't have to pay $4 a gallon for gas because there is no cost to come into Virbela. It's part of our little tiny monthly fee that we have that's $85 a month, and that covers this technology and everything else that I'm talking about tonight during this session. So here's some of the things that are included in addition to Virbela, that technology that I just showed you for our little monthly fee of $85. Of course, we get 80 hours of training. That's included as well. So the CRM, the Cadillac really of CRMs is KV Core. And you would pay, upwards of $5,000 a year if you were at another brokerage that didn't provide KV Core. This is where the vast majority of your leads are going to come from. There's incredible training. They've got a YouTube channel where they have tons of little tutorial videos that you can go and watch. Ideal Real Estate is the name of the company that owns KV Core. They're out of Utah. But this is just a really robust client relationship management software that we get for free. It's just part of the monthly fee that we pay, unlike some of our competitors that have to pay $400, $500 a month for this same exact software that they would be getting free if they would just change the logo on their business card. SkySlope is our broker compliance platform. This is where we upload all of our documentation once it's signed so that the brokers can review everything. There's like a green and red checklist box. You just go through, and once everything's green, boom, you're ready to close. And this allows you to get paid the same day you record. If you tell Title, give them your routing number, your transit number, and all that for your bank, Title can literally can transfer your commission right into your bank account the same day you close and record. No waiting for 4 or 5 days. No driving into the office to pick up your check like we used to do. I think they still make agents at Keller Williams drive into the office to pick up their commission checks. You don't have to do that at eXp. We are just so much more efficient here, and that's when we sell so many more houses than every other brokerage out there, is because we just, we make more out of our day. Workplace and Work Chat, created by Mark Zuckerberg, who created Facebook. He's essentially, it's Facebook and Instant Message with different names, but it's exclusive for business. So we've got about 90,000 people on this platform currently, and it'll continue to grow. But man, you talk about a place to get tons of referrals. If you've got your notifications turned on, your phone's dinging, 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 this is a great place to collaborate. It's a great place to get referrals in your community. It's a great place to find other agents to get, to give those referral commissions to for, referrals that you might have. Work chat, you can chat with anybody in the company, including your brokers, instantly. It's just two apps that you download to your phone, or you can go on your browser as well. But Workplace and Work Chat, you can find those in your app stores on your Droid or your Apple phones. Another huge benefit that we get at eXp, because we don't have offices, Glenn Sanford signed a worldwide contract with Regus, which is the largest company in the world that rents out office space. And we can go in and use all their shared space at any Regus office worldwide, free of charge. So once you join eXp and you fill out a little form, it takes about 3 days, you'll get a Regus ID number, and you can literally walk into any Regus in the world. So if you're on vacation in Mexico City or Paris, France, or somewhere like that, and you got a real estate deal going south, and you need to get to good Wi-Fi somewhere quiet where you can save this deal, just pull up your phone, type in Regus.com, put in Paris in the search bar, and it'll bring up all the Regus offices around the Eiffel Tower, and you can just walk right in and take care of your business. And again, we don't have any charge for this. This is just part of our little $85 monthly fee. This alone is worth $200 or $300 a month, because if you didn't have this, you'd be paying rent, going into an office. So to me, this is like a stupid no-brainer. In Phoenix, I think there's 26 offices in one county in Regus, and they also bought out Spaceworks, so we can use all the spaces as well that are around the country. So another great benefit that we get here at eXp. We have another great benefit called the Mentor Program. This is for brand new agents. Instead of throwing you into a room with 25 other brand new agents and trying to fight for the time for one coach to help you, the way our program works at eXp is it's one-on-one. So you get an experienced mentor that works with you on your first 3 transactions, and then you're done. So you go from a 60-40 split if you're brand new. If you're experienced and you come to eXp, you start off immediately on the 80-20. But if you've never sold anything, or at least have 3 or 4 transactions in the last 12 months, they put you in the mentor program. They assign you to a very experienced mentor, starts you off on a 60-40 split. You keep 60, 40% goes away. 20% is the normal split. 10% goes to your mentor, and 10% goes to what's called eXp University. But as a mentor, a certified mentor with eXp, I can tell you, someone who used to hire those productivity coaches at KW, this is such a better program because it's mono a mono. It's so hard to succeed in this business anyway, and especially if you're having to go, hey, teacher, I need your help, but they're helping 17 other people, right? So this is a better program. And then once you graduate, you get your 3 deals under your belt, then you go immediately to the 80-20 split. And then, of course, once you pay in your $16,000 cap, you go to 100% commission at that point. And all 3 of those first 3 deals for the brand new agent do go towards their cap. So they certainly could cap their first year. We also provide healthcare. I don't know of another brokerage. I don't think there is another brokerage in the industry that provides healthcare for their agents. I am a customer of our healthcare program. I won't bore you with all the medical issues I've had recently, and my wife and I, but we've been wearing this thing out, and we'd be sunk financially if we didn't have the eXp healthcare. So just I'm not here to sell our insurance, our health insurance, but if you want to know about it and it's interesting to you, go to that eXp Agent Healthcare. Just take a screenshot, take a picture with your phone, jot it down. You can even go talk to one of our eXp healthcare specialists, and they can answer all of your questions. But all I know is my wife and I are 61. We pay $560 a month, and 100% of all of our prescriptions are covered because they cover 100% of all generic prescriptions. Our doctor visits are $20 to go to a specialist like a dermatologist is $50, and anything major, the most we have to pay out of our pocket is $2,500 in a year. So it's an amazing program. I encourage you guys to check it out. And if you don't have health insurance or you haven't checked it out and you are with eXp, take it from someone who's been using this now for many months. I love it. It's just a great program, great healthcare. Business cards, we've got a company where you get discounted business cards. You'll get 1,000 business cards. They'll be discounted. They'll ship those to you as soon as you make them. We have over 5,000 online marketing brochures that you have access to that you can just print and go. It's already got your headshot, license number, your email, your website. You get 2 gorgeous websites when you sign up with eXp, one with all the MLS listings and another one to promote your revenue share business. And then we get a huge discount on signage as well, like, the A-frames that you have to hang the open house corrugated plastic signs, the plastic signs, the aluminum the aluminum for sale signs, all of those. We get somewhere between 30 to 60% off. We never pay for shipping, again, subsidized by the company, so we don't have to worry about paying full price for retail. And you can spend a lot of money on marketing and signage, so it's nice to get a discount whenever you can. So wrapping up here, again, we're a one giant worldwide brokerage. We're not a franchise. Therefore, we don't have desk fees. We don't have royalty fees. We don't have franchise fees. It's a clean 80-20 split. You cap at $16K. Yes, there's brokerages that have less, maybe a lower cap. And the reason they do is because we force them to lower their cap. But they're still not going to give you stock. They're still not going to share 50% of the revenue. They're still not going to give you healthcare. They're still not going to give you hundreds of offices, thousands of offices around the world that you can walk into free of charge and use them as long as you want, never pay rent, right? You're just not going to find it out there. It's because we don't have buildings, guys. That's the main thing you need to take away is we are the first virtual brokerage, first of its kind. We don't have all, KW, we had over 1,000 buildings that franchisees were having to pay rent on. I know my last Keller Williams that I ran, my monthly rent was $35,000 a month, 35K. My monthly nut that I had to crack was over $80,000. So we had to make $80,000 just to make $1 in profit. So talk about stress. So just 80-20 clean, nothing else, no hidden, gotchas or any of that stuff. There is a one-time fee to start with eXp. It's $149. That actually includes your first monthly fee for your technology and training, all the technology that we get here, all the training, the Regis offices, the Burbella virtual campus, all that's included for $85. But you don't pay $85 and $149 your first month. You just pay $149. Starting the second month, the company will ding your credit card for $85. And again, that covers everything. The other two little fees that you see there, those are not monthly fees. Those are transactional fees. So when you close a deal, the company takes $25 out of your commission. You won't even notice it really. And that goes to pay our brokers to help, review all of your contracts and documents. So that's how we pay our brokers. And the way we do our E&O is $40 per closing. Again, if your deal falls out at the title, at the closing table, you don't pay these fees. It's only when you get paid that they come out. So $40 for E&O. And the nice thing about E&O at eXp, maybe someone could let Colin in from Dallas. The nice thing about our $40 E&O is it's capped at $500. So that's the most you'll pay at eXp for your errors and omissions insurance per year. And that's about 12, 13 deals. And so once you get to 12 or 13 deals and you paid that $500 in, then you only have $25 coming out of your commission. I guess we've lost our admin, so I'm going to go ahead and let this person in. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, so that's pretty much the end of that. And this is the website where you would go to join eXp, join.exprealty.com. Pretty smart website domain there, right? So for those of you that are guests, if there are any guests on here tonight, my strong advice to you is if you have questions, get back with the person that invited you on here tonight. Get those questions answered. I'm going to open it up for Q&A, and I hope I can hear you guys because the last Zoom that I was on, I was having a problem. I guess everybody could hear me, but I couldn't hear them. So I don't know if there's some sort of setting that changed, but I usually use Zoom every single day of the week. So I don't know what happened, but get back with them. They'll answer your questions. Certainly, if you want to ask any questions tonight, I'll be happy to do that as well. But I hope you can see why I came to eXp when I said I would never leave Keller Williams, never say never, because my stock portfolio now is massive compared to what it was at Keller Williams because they didn't give you stock. Matter of fact, one of my buddies over there, he came to eXp after, I called him up because he gave me crap about leaving. He's like, man, their stock is crap. It was like $5 a share. And he goes, what if it goes down to zero? And I go, well, dude, if it goes down to zero, it's like I'm still with Keller Williams because you're a privately held company and you don't get any stock. I go, but what if it goes to $50 a share? Don't think he didn't eat an alligator or something else, maybe a big fat crow when he saw that our stock hit 180. I called him that day and said, remember when you gave me crap about our little $5 stock share? Take a look at it now. And he was like, I can't even say what he said on the phone with me, but there was some expletives. Let's just put it that way. And it wasn't long before he joined me here at eXp because he's just not getting that at KW, nor you get it at any other brokerage. So that is about all I have for my presentation tonight, but I'm going to open it up now to Q&A. Looks like we have a few people on here tonight. There's not many. I'm not sure if we have any guests.
Love it, Tony. Tony,
do,
can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Look at that.
All right. It's Tom Trong. Thank you for your presentation. Appreciate your leadership, my man. All right.
So good to see you, man. Good to hear you.
We've got Mika. Mika, are you with us?
Yeah, Mika's my boy. What's happening, Mika? What's going on? Good to see you. That guy's killing it, Tom. He just started
he's with eXp. He's with eXp.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
All right. So Tony,
Hey, Mika,
we don't have anyone else who's a guest here. Everyone else here is with eXp already. Colin, who is with eXp, Daniel Lang is already with us. We had a light showing tonight, so I think we're good.
Good, awesome. Well, we had a meltdown at the beginning, Tom. You know that I didn't know I had your email and your passcode, but I didn't have anything else, so I couldn't get it started, and it was kind of a bummer. But we made it work. Danielle did great. I loved it. She was awesome.
I don't understand.
She
so
was really good.
I didn't change my email or password, Tony, and you got in prior weeks.
I know it's weird. I can't figure it out. There was just something strange.
Okay.
It was weird because everybody could hear me, but I couldn't hear them.
Right.
And I literally was just on 2 Zooms earlier today. So I don't know what happened during that time frame, but I couldn't hear. And my phone, so I had to call in on the phone. That's how I'm able to, to hear people right now. Yeah.
All right, guys. So
we
Tony,
could,
thank you for being here. Daniel, I know you're about to do revenue share quick start, but we're all family here. We're all eXp agents here. So I think we can move right into the revenue share, and Daniel's our host tonight. He's our leader tonight.
Well, I was gonna wait at 6:30 because I sent a calendar invite to the team.
Okay.
For 6:30, but we don't know who shows up. We can take a break.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break, and then let me get.
Yeah. If there's any comments or questions, guys, before we take a break, feel free to chime in now. Otherwise, yeah, we'll take a little break and then come back at.
So 30. Tony, when you're doing your slide with the eXp World, was that embedded in your slide, the video, or were you actually?
Yeah, I have an Apple, so it's really easy. You just take your movie that you recorded.
Yep.
I use what is it called?
QuickTime.
QuickTime. I use QuickTime Player, and I just recorded it, and then I just took the file and dragged and dropped it on that page, and that's how I did it. So it's super easy.
Yeah, I probably will do the same thing. I think it's easier, especially like.
I love showing it. It's one thing seeing a static slide about our Verbella, but when people can actually see it and see it working, to me, I've always had better success. I mean,
I actually use that to blame Tom Trong for not showing me the world 6 years ago. I tell people
that's awesome.
the same. I said, if Tom just showed me this video game first, that would have caught my attention. So
Daniel, you'll love this.
So I actually use that to explain to people like, hey, before we get the president, I need to show you this tool because the person that I look up to didn't show me this at the beginning, 5-6 years ago. But
I think
of course everything's
started at Scott Lewis. Since we're all family, we can talk about Scott since he isn't on here. But I think it started with Scott because I remember before I signed the paperwork and came to eXp, Scott had me come up to his house several times, and he'd cook filet and lobster. I mean, he was really putting on the Ritz for trying to bring me over. And I said, Scott, I want to see the virtual platform. I want to see it. And his face kind of went white. He goes, okay, come on back to my office. And he sat in his little red, gaming chair, and I sat in the other one. And he goes and he tries to find the logo, and I could tell, he didn't have to tell me. I could tell. It's like, Scott, he goes, I don't really use this that much.
Everyone uses the tool differently, right? Everyone uses the tool differently.
I know, exactly.
But
can't
you know,
not
I
use
put
it.
on the
I mean,
whiteboard, and I'll share with everyone else at 6:30. I put on the whiteboard, I put 1,000 offices, whether you're KW, Remax, Coldwell Banker. I would say $6,000 rent times 12 months, that's 72 million. Glenn Sanford, figure out the way, and I just cross out that $72 million. And then from there, I go into the world, and then it clicks. They understand that we're a real estate company without the real estate and how we started. And then from there, I get them engaged, and then from there, it just clicks to them. So.
Well, and I'm kind of like, I'm in that same vein. When I was sitting with Rob Flick, looking at this model for the very first time, I let him do his spiel, and I just looked at him and shook my head, and I go, there is no way this company can do all that. There's no way they can get 50%. There's no way they can give stock. And Rob, some of you have been on here before. You probably heard me tell this story, but he looked at me and he goes, "You're not listening to me." And I go, "Okay, what am I missing?" And Rob said, "We don't have buildings. That means we don't have rent." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I pay $35,000 a month in rent. I can get that." He goes, "Well, wipe all that out and think what you could do with that money to bless the lives of the agents, which are then going to bless the lives of their clients with a better experience in real estate." So to me, that's all I needed to hear. Because, and so I think there's a lesson there. Sometimes when we're talking to people like me, I just didn't get it. One, I didn't want to get it. I just wanted a free game of golf, because Rob Flick offered to pay for golf. But, some people just don't get it. So you really kind of have to break it down. It's like, well, what if you could wipe out every building? There was no rent. You take all that money and give, a big portion of it to the agents. And he literally had to kind of draw it out for me. But when he finally drummed it into my head and said, "You're not listening," the light bulbs went off, and I'm like, holy crap. Of course they can do revenue share 50% on a 20% split, because there's very small expenses here with the company. So I don't know who that good looking guy there is in the back, Tom, but hello. Who is that good looking guy?
How are you, man? Dick Lee in the house. Where are you guys at?
Where are we at, Dick?
Hey, what's up, guys? We just finished 2 hours of continuing education here because we got to do CEs, and it's here at the Round Tree Brewery in Hyde Park, Massachusetts. So, cheers!
I love it.
I said,
drink one for me, guys. Hey, I hope you guys are going to be in Chicago in a few days. We'll see you down there, right?
You're the best,
Awesome.
man.
All right. Thank you for your leadership, Tony. Daniel, you're up next.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stay on. I'll mute myself. I'll turn off my video. And hey, Daniel, are you with me? Daniel.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you want Samantha to stay on to record this section for you? Actually, you know what, Samantha, here's what you can do. Just make Daniel a co-host.
And I can save it.
He can record this session for himself, and then he can save it. And then Sam, you put in a full day for us. We appreciate you. We love you. You can take off, okay?
Thanks, everyone. Okay.
All right, Sam.
Thank you.
All right.
Later.